Hey guys, this is the second video in the Dave Ramsey's Baby Steps video series. If you've never heard about the Baby Steps, what they are is they are a system that was made popular by money guru Dave Ramsey. And if you haven't heard about the Total Money Makeover book, there's a link in the description below so that you can pick it up and learn about these baby steps from the guru himself. So the baby steps are a great system for anybody who is trying to get their financial house in order and get out of debt. So last week I created a video explaining the baby step number one, which is to create a starter emergency fund. And if you haven't watched that video, pause this video and go back and watch that video, because you don't want to start with baby step number two until you've completed baby step number one, which is to create a $1,000 emergency fund as quickly as possible. So guys, I know there are tons of YouTube videos explaining how to use the debt snowball and the avalanche method to pay off your debt. But in this video, guys, I'm going to explain the differences between each one, how to implement them, and I'm also going to share how we paid over $10,000 in student debt loan in less than a year using a combination of both methods. So let's go ahead and jump in. So what is the debt snowball? So guys, the debt snowball means that you list all your bills from smallest to largest. You're not concerned about the interest rate. Instead, your goal is to pay off the smallest bill as quickly as possible. And you do this by making the minimum payments on all your other bills and throwing anything excess that you have at the smallest bill. Once that small bill is done, then you move on to the second smallest bill, and you take anything that you were applying to the smallest bill that you tackled first, you apply it to the second smallest bill, and then you repeat the process until all your bills are completely done and you're debt free. So an example is, guys, when I was paying down our student loans, we had 4 loans. And what I did was I tackled the smallest loan first, and I put everything on that loan excess that we had while making only the minimum payments on the other 3 loans. And then I repeated the process to get out of debt. And then once the smallest loan was done, then I moved on to the second smallest loan, taking everything that I threw at the first loan and putting it onto the second smallest loan, plus the minimum payment that I was already making on that small loan. So every time you pay off one of your bills, you get more momentum because you have more money to throw at the loans than you did when you first started. The debt snowball is also one of the methods that allows you to stay motivated because it gets you excited whenever you see your progress and you see that your debt is being chipped away a lot faster than the avalanche method, which we're going to discuss next. So what is the avalanche method? Guys, the avalanche method is basically the opposite of the debt snowball. Instead of focusing on the bill with the smallest debt, what you're going to do is you're going to focus on the bills with the highest interest rate. So what you're going to do is you're going to list all your bills according to the interest rate, and then you're going to tackle the one with the highest interest rate while making the minimum payments on all your other bills. Now, this method usually takes the longest to see results, but the avalanche method is also the method that will save you more in interest over the long term. So which method should you use? Guys, it really comes down to just a personal decision, and you know yourself best. When I was paying down our student loans, I focused on the one with the highest interest rate first. And then once that one was paid off, I changed over to the debt snowball and focused on the smallest bill because I needed a quick win, and it took me a long time to pay down the one with the highest interest rate. And this is why Dave Ramsey recommends using the debt snowball. He says that people will be more inclined to pay off their debt when they get that psychological boost from paying down their debt as quickly as possible. So you know yourself best. If you want to save money in interest over the long term, then use the avalanche method. However, if you need the motivation of the quick win, then use the debt snowball method. Regardless, guys, either method is going to pay down your debt as long as you're consistent. However, if you want to follow Dave Ramsey's steps to a T, then he recommends using the debt snowball method to get out of debt. Either way, guys, the goal is to get out of debt so that you can focus on building wealth. So how do I get extra money to pay towards my debt? So guys, the first thing you want to do is you want to look at your budget. Are there any things that you can cut, any expenses that you don't use or don't need anymore? And then once you've cut everything that you possibly can, the next step is to look at making more money, increasing your income so that you can have more money to throw at your debt. And the easiest wins to do that is to ask for a raise at your current job, work overtime, or start a side hustle. And regardless of which method you use, anything extra that you bring into the house should be thrown directly at the debt. And during your debt repayment process, guys, you don't spend any money on anything that isn't a necessity, such as eating out. Everything extra that you have goes towards paying down your debt. The goal is to pay down your debt as quickly as possible so that you can focus on creating wealth. So I'm not going to lie to you guys, finding ways to create extra income so that you can pay down your debt a lot faster is not going to be easy, but it's definitely worth it. The most important thing you need to do is stay consistent and don't give up. This means that you need to stick to your budget. I highly recommend that you make some type of chart so that you can look at your progress, guys. There are tons of debt-free charts online. You just need to look on Google or Pinterest. When you use a debt-free chart, it'll help you create some type of chart visually so that you can see your progress. And it's much more fun when you can actually see the progress. A debt-free chart will give you the ability to make a chart and see it visually so that you can mark off your progress as you continue working towards paying off your debt. And when you see your progress, guys, it's a lot easier to continue and stay motivated so that you don't quit, especially when things get tough. And guys, it's going to get tough, especially if you have a lot of debt, because there's going to be times when you feel like you're not making enough progress and you're going to feel like, what's the use? I might as well go and spend the money on something that's not going to help me. Why make this extra payment towards the bill when I'm not seeing the results that I expect to see? But when you see the chart and you see the progress that you're making, even if it's slow progress, guys, it's progress. And it's going to keep you motivated to keep chipping away at your debt until it's all gone. When we were paying down our school loans, guys, there were times when I just had $20 extra that I was able to put towards that bill. But guys, when you're paying down debt, every penny counts. Because as the saying goes, guys, the borrower is slave to the lender. So it's essential to get out of debt as quickly as possible. So now that you understand baby step number 2, guys, let me know in the comments below which method you're going to use, whether you're going to use the debt snowball or you're going to use the avalanche method. Also, if you enjoyed this video, guys, make sure you subscribe to this channel so that you can be notified whenever I put out a new video. And make sure you check out my website at over50resource.com. And stay tuned for next week's video, guys, where I'm going to explain baby step number 3. Anyway, I hope you guys had a great one, and I will talk to you later. Bye, guys.